Hi, I'm Kevin Gallagher, Technical Marketing Engineer for F5, and I'm here to show you how to integrate SSL Orchestrator with Check Point Firewall virtual machine. This was tested with Big IP version 17.1, SSL Orchestrator version 11.0, and Check Point Gaia and Smart Console version R81.20. In this case, the Check Point Firewall will be configured in bridging mode. So we'll start with the VMware ESX configuration, specifically the networking. Now we have here two port groups, the network north and network south, that represent connectivity to the north and south of this particular network. We also have this port group here for the new checkpoint ingress, new checkpoint egress, and those are for connectivity to and from the Big IP and the checkpoint itself. And you want to add them to a virtual switch. In this case, I have it in the checkpoint switch. You can see that I have the Big IP and a Windows client here. I've got the Big IP and a Windows server to the north. And then, of course, for the ingress and egress to and from the Big IP to the checkpoint firewall. Next, let's take a look at the Big IP network settings. So in this example here, the VM network is used for management. Network north is used for connectivity to the north side of the network, and network south is for connectivity to the south side. And then I have the egress and ingress VLANs for connectivity to and from the checkpoint firewall from the Big IP. We'll take a look at the checkpoint network settings. And again, we can see that the first interface is used for management. The second one is for the egress connections from the Big IP, and then adapter 3 is for the ingress connections from the checkpoint back to the Big IP. Let's go ahead and review the checkpoint firewall configuration. You want to start with the regular Gaia web portal. Connect basically directly to the firewall IP, in this case it's .106, and then come over here to network interfaces. In order to do this, you can't have any IP addresses on the adapters. So if we look at ETH1, it says use the following, but it's blank. You look at ETH2, it's the same. You could run into problems when set to obtain, so it should work just fine this way. And basically, to create a bridge interface for layer 2 connectivity, you just go to add and then bridge. Give it a number. We'll go to 10, and then just go ahead and add the interfaces over here. All right. And if we want to look at the bridge here, we can see how it's configured. All right, so now we actually want to go over to the Smart Console. So let me go ahead and bring the actual Smart Console GUI in here. And we want to configure this firewall right here, 106. You'll want to go over to Network Management and get interfaces. We'll do this without topology. So it recognizes these interfaces as configured on the checkpoint. And normally you make these changes like that. You go ahead and click publish to publish the changes. Let's take a look at the security policies. This is the default rule. For this example here, we're just going to go ahead and set this to accept. And we'll go ahead and publish. And install the policy. Note, we're only going to configure it on this one here. And you can see it's installing. And the installation was successful. Great. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some of the big IP settings themselves. Come over here to the big IP. If we look at network and VLANs, you can see here that we have egress for connections from the big IP to the Check Point Firewall, and then ingress for connections from the Check Point Firewall to the big IP. And then we also have the network north and network south VLANs here as well for connectivity to the north and south of the network respectively. Let's go ahead and do the rest of the SSL Orchestrator configuration. Here we have a layer 3 outbound topology configured with no services. So let's go ahead and add the service here. And under L2, you can just double click here on the checkpoint. I'm going to call this checkpoint. And for the network path, we'll use that egress and ingress VLANs that we covered before. I won't make any changes there, but I do want to enable the port remap option and remap that to port 80. Go ahead and save and next. Now I want to go into the service chain here and make sure that the checkpoint is in that service chain. And then we'll go ahead and deploy. So when done, it should look like this. And if we go into the service here and check out the pool member status, you can see it all shows up in green. Appears that everything is functioning properly. So next what we want to do is test this configuration. So in this example, I have a web server at the address https 192.168.0.5. And we're going to test connectivity to this web server from a test client on the south. All right, I'm going to set up a couple of TCP dumps here so that we can look at the connectivity between the client and the big IP, and then from the big IP to the checkpoint itself. So here we have the, we're going to filter on the network south VLAN. And then here we're going to filter on the egress. What I'll do is I'll bring in this client here going to the server, and I'll just do a reload here. And then let's take a look at what that generated. All right, if we look here, you can clearly see that we have HTTPS that is encrypted, and you can see it went through the the outbound topology. And then if we look down here, I'm going to go ahead and stop this. You can see that there's an actual regular HTTP request sent to the checkpoint. So clearly here, the connection is being decrypted by SSL Orchestrator, and then it is passing that along in clear text to the checkpoint server firewall for analysis. So that completes the configuration of Big IP SSL Orchestrator with a Checkpoint Firewall VM. And at this point, traffic should flow through SSL Orchestrator and be decrypted and sent to Checkpoint for analysis. Thank you for watching this demo, and have a great day.